full of yummy foods. I had a delicious sandwich from Jersey Mike's. And I ate the whole thing. I feel like a little piggy. Okay. We're gonna do stuff. Let's see how fast we can put this thing together. Oh gosh. I just remembered. Do we have enough? I don't want to use more than I have to. Set these aside for a second. I'm gonna cut out some. Hello, Melon. Hello, I'm glad you had lunch. I was going to sew, but I guess I should be responsible and do dishes. I mean, yeah, I have I have some responsibility issues sometimes. My poor boyfriend, he doesn't fight with me about it, but there have been instances where it's like, can you please do this thing? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't do it. Like the dishes, for instance. I try to be good. I do. I'm gonna cut out pockets. Because if I'm making this thing, I might as well put in pockets. Right? Oh, hey, look. A conveniently located pocket pattern. We're playing D&D tonight, so I can't sew tonight. Well, there are worse things to keep you away from sewing. I love D&D. I miss D&D. We haven't played in way too long. Can I rip this? I can. Yeah. Alright, so now I've got an almost straight edge on this thing. Wait a minute, how is this folded? I think it was like this. This was the original. Yeah, this is like 60 inches. Fabric ripping is so nice. It's satisfying, isn't it? It's super satisfying. Agreed. So let's see. I should do it this way. I don't really care about this fabric so much, so can I do two of them this way? I think I can. What am I looking for? And why can't I find it? There it is. This thing. I would scream if I had to cut my 3-meter skirts. 3M skirts? Is that meters? I think I'll cut the pieces and then dishes. It's just rectangles. I mean, if it gives you satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment, I say go for it. Use that time that you've got. Meters, yeah, okay. I was right. I read that correctly. Hooray me. I'm just moving this down just in case. So I think I've got, I think I've got the 4 layers. So I have 2 pairs for the packets. I don't remember if I put seam allowance on this. Because it almost looks like it doesn't have seam allowance. Oh dear. Whatever, I'm just gonna do this. If I have to redraw the pattern, then now is the time to make that mistake. Because the fabric I'm using is cute, but it's not like precious, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Yeah, that's my minimum for rectangle skirts. Really? 3 meters? Just the skirt? Well, I suppose if you are needing to make it in a larger size, that would make sense. Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense. Alright, so we have 2 sets of pockets now, don't we? Oh my god, for a second I thought I only had 3 pieces. I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong. No, everything's fine. So, although I went down a size, congratulations. I know that must feel very good. I know this feeling. So the working out isn't pointless. I'm getting strong. There you go. Ah, yes, the trials and tribulations of being female and dealing with weight issues. I had a hard time with that. I was skinny as a kid, then I gained weight, and then I lost it, and I tried to figure out how, because I'm gaining it back now, and I just finished eating an entire sandwich. I think I kept talking about this with my boyfriend too, who also is looking to lose some weight. Where I think we just need to introduce more fish and vegetables into our diet. It's really as simple as that. My waist used to be 37. My trainer says that having a child makes it harder to get my waist back. Oh, I know. I want babies, but I'm afraid of the weight gain problem. Well, I guess that's why I'm just learning to make my own clothes so I can still wear Lolita and not feel bad about it. There was a friend of mine who I had model for me once for a show, and she mentioned that one of my dresses that I made, it had full shirring, and she felt really comfortable. Oops. She felt really comfortable in this dress, and she had a baby by then, and she was happy that it didn't make her feel like she couldn't breathe. Okay, I gotta be careful. I melted this a little bit, but I don't care because this is just a kind of a mock-up sort of regular thing. I love that Lolita is accommodating. I love that too. I don't think anybody should be barred from enjoying this fashion just because. Stupid things like skin color or weight. Because that's just stupid. I don't believe in excluding people just because of these superficial things. Okay, we're using black. Use this black. Do it on this side. He's awesome, so I don't mind. This is also the first year I've ever worked out actively, so if I keep at it, I'll get back. And I love that Lolita is accommodating, and Lolita makes me feel like a comfy cupcake. Oh, that's an adorable way of putting it. A comfy cupcake. Let's all be comfy cupcakes together. That's so cute. Okay. Oh my god. This is a travesty. How many times do I have to do this? I just want to sit in my chair without, like, getting another coat of fur on me. My cats love this chair. really do this thoroughly. Where did that? Oh, here it is. Alright, I'm gonna say that's good enough. I don't want to spend all afternoon doing that. Okay. Right, so what's first? Let's see. Oh, geez. I don't even want to overlock each individual piece. I'll just overlock it when it's put together. You can do either or. Somebody was asking about overlocks and sergers on the Discord, and I had to stop myself from saying, get a serger, you'll love it. Some people are intimidated by it, and they should come to that conclusion and decision on their own. But I like it. Sergers make everything look so professional. So I don't think I could ever go back. Alright, so one of the things I'll have to do is to make this, what's it? I need to do the top part of the back panel. So we're going to just go across the top here with 1 centimeter. Boop. Let's come down here. Come with me. Down here. Can you see that okay? One of these days. One of these days, I'm gonna have a better setup. Oh, my fabric tears! Huzzah! Using some canvas-like stuff. Good! It must just be regular weave then. There are some weaves that I noticed, like twill. Don't try to rip twill. Twill won't work. Or knits. Knits also won't work. Okay, so we got the back panel, the top of the back panel done. Let's see here. Can we put together quickly? Oh. Where are these? We're gonna make tubes out of the shoulder straps. And I have tube turners for that, which are fun little things to play with. So I'm making sure that both... Oh, you know what? Oh, didn't I talk about putting like some kind of lace on the shoulder? Do I want to do that, or do I want to just keep this simple? Crap. I know! These are the important questions. No, I'm gonna make it simple. I am not going to overcomplicate this, because mostly the whole reason I'm doing this is just to make sure that the pattern pieces fit together the way that they were drafted. So, this is going to be a tube. Voila. Starting to wonder if these were supposed to be like single pieces, but I kind of don't care because single piece shoulder straps just don't sound very stable to me. Okay, just moving this aside over here. I'm gonna share the pattern too. I'm gonna make sure that I can scan it and talk about that mistake that I found. You were here for that, right? You were watching while I was trying to decide, like, what the heck is up with this top band part where it's, like, telling me it should be 4.2 centimeters, but actually it's, like, 7.7 centimeters wide in the center. It's totally weird. I don't know what they were thinking when they printed that diagram. That's one more. Okay, that's better. Yep, shenanigans, that's right. Would you bother for the mock-up? Yeah, that was what I was just thinking. I'm like, nah. This is what sucks about secondhand fabric. This stuff is a delight to cut. I have no idea where I'd get more. If you know that it's rare, or if you don't know if you can ever find it again, I tend to ration that sort of thing and be very careful, you know, measure twice, cut once sort of mentality. This carousel fabric, so that way I could just play with it first and see if this design idea that I have even works before I start like cutting into the really good stuff, which is from Modes for You. Now I was gonna make a yoga bag out of it, 60 inches wide and nice. Oh, neat. Okay, so I need to turn this around. I wonder if I can actually... Can I put my fingers in here, or is it too small? Ooh, it's too small. I might be able to press these corners in. I'm like, I don't know if you can even see me fiddling with this, but I'm trying to do my neat, tidy corner turning thing. I wonder if I sewed this down with a wide and loose stitch and then turned it out and then took out the stitches just to make sure that these corners stayed where they should be. I think that would work. Well, I guess the mock-up is the way to do it, right? That's how to do it. Do it now or regret it later. So, I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna make a big stitch. I'm just gonna do this. I'm not even gonna back tack it. So it should be easy to pull out. Alright, I need to experiment with this. I need to make sure that I can do this part the way that I need to. Alright, let me see if I can find my loop turners. Loop turner! There's the big one. Okay, so I got this 1/2" loop turner guy. We're gonna try. I'm gonna move this aside. I've got that big old basting stitch in there. I wonder if it is even still big enough. Whoop, wrong one. Yeah, works. This is the magic thing. I love these things. Okay, so I got it. Alrighty, I need this. I need this to work. What is this? Oh, it's my mom again. Send it to you this week, living with you. Yes, everything's fine. Oh, Mom. Alright, so let's see if my little experiment here worked. Hello, Omni! Hello, my love. How are you? Okay, there's the end. Oh, it pulled right out. Pretty nicely. Sometimes I impress even myself. Woohoo! Not bad. Let's see, did I get it on this side? So I just tacked down with a basting stitch on the end with those ends folded, and now after turning it out and pulling that basting stitch out, it worked perfectly. Ta-da! Got an esports meeting soon. See you soon after. Okay, and I'm great. Hope you are well. I am a busy bee. Just doing my thing. Alright, so that means I'm going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to do this foldy thing. We're going to do the foldy thing. Make sure those corners are nice and crisp. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. That's cool. I almost didn't expect it to work, and it did. So that's neat. Okay, we're going to do that big old basting stitch. Long stitch length, and I'm not even starting it all the way at the edge. I'm kind of starting it at this inside the edge of the hem. Alright, we're just gonna do this. Big old stitches, no back tacking. And we're gonna end it there. Pull that out. Yeah! Totally cute. And even this thing was big enough to handle the width of this shoulder strap. No. Come back. There we go. Alright. Just kind of carefully plunge the corners that are tacked down into this tube. So you're not ripping it, and then once it starts poking out, you can pull the rest of it. There we go. I love that thing. It's so cool. And before you just work it out to where it's been tacked down with that basting. I don't know, were you able to see that, what I did? Because I don't know if it was close enough. maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe it was just like something that I happened to be able to do in that moment and won't be able to recreate ever again. But let's see if I can get this out here. Okay, pulled out again. I did it! I did it! Another nice crisp corner! Neat! Huh! That's fun! I don't think I'm ever going to forget that ever again. I'm going to use that technique forever and ever now. Because the other thing is these kinds of straps I use a lot when I'm doing the aprons. Because they're like a tube. They have the same idea where on one end where it's closed it has buttonholes. And then having to turn it out with getting these crisp corners, I had to leave like a part close to this closed end open so that I could turn over the corners first and then pull the rest of it through. But now that I know this little basting stitch trick, I might just be able to have the whole thing closed, stitch down those corners, turn it out with the loop turner here, and then pull out the basting stitch and fix the corners because they stay pretty much in place. I'm learning things. That's so fun. Okay, so we have shoulder straps. And we have the top part of the back panel. I'm just going to set that aside for now. This is the... Let's see. I think it's... Did I? Yes, I did. I marked it. So smart. I marked it because I am so smart. The front panel. And then we're going to add the whole piece of the top part of the bodice. So let me put it back to regular stitching size, 2.5 on my machine. I realized too that there's going to be some ironing involved to mark my placements for the casings on the back center panel. And so once I'm ready to bring out the iron, I'll make sure that I have everything that I need to iron out and ready. Okay, so this is the center panel. I could probably put some like decorative lace or something, or buttons. I don't know, maybe I'll just make this like a super casual dress, and then after it's put together I'll decide like what kind of embellishments I can add to the next one when I make it out of the dragon fabric and also out of that unicorn fabric. Because the other part, when I'm making something a little more embellished, it requires preparation of those pieces. So if I'm adding the chiffon as a trim, I need to have all that chiffon prepped before I start the project so that I'll have it ready to go and finish the entire thing. I need to have my lace chosen. If I were to dye a lace, I would have to have that done ahead of time, of course. Because it's just kind of a mojo killer if you're trying to get something done and then in the middle of it you stop because you have to prepare something that you suddenly decided you wanted, which is like a specifically colored dye lace. So, okay. I am going to have to overlock this. So I'm going to wait because I have to overlock these before I add the top part, just so I have this free for overlocking. And then, you know what? I think we're at that point because this needs to be attached. Oh, well, I guess I could attach the facing part to other facing part. It has to have a side zip though. So only one part of the facing. Oh my god, the math in my head is real right now. I do that to myself way too often. Oh, yeah, you can relate, huh? Yeah, guess how I know that? Because, like, so often. And part of the idea of being expedient is having everything prepared ahead of time so you don't have to stop. You know, I just realized I have some really cute gold trim that I could probably use on this because it's like the right color scheme. Maybe. See which one? This is the. Right. Okay. All right. Well, before I get myself into trouble, which is entirely possible. Let's just be real. Okay, so I need to overlock. I have white on there right now, so I'll need to change it to black. And I want to pull out the lace trim. It's not lace per se, it's a Venice. It's not even Venice. What is it? It's like a braid. It's like a gold braid. So I'll need to change the color on my overlock. But first, let's see about bringing this stuff out. Ooh. Alright, what do I got? What do I got? What do I got in here? There it is. It's shiny. And I'm almost wondering if the carousel thing would be appropriate for this. Because I wasn't exactly sure. Okay, I'll admit it kind of almost looks like rickrack. But, again, this is a super casual piece, so it almost looks cute, though. Oh, I'm still learning what embellishments I like. Yeah, it's a trial and error sort of thing. But I have this. It's like sparkly gold. And then I could, let's see, if I did it on the top, because the way that the picture has it, it's like trimmed in something like this, and then across the top here. And then even on the bottom. Let's see which way. Yeah, so this is the right way right here. Can you see that okay? I don't know how much you can see. Let's see, close up. What's going on with my camera? Is it like totally... Is it me? No, I'm just looking at my monitor in an angle. I don't know. So, I don't know, man. I was thinking it could be cute. And again, this is like super casual. Yeah, that's better. So I have that. I've got so many trims in this thing. Oh yeah, I have this other gold stuff that can be woven with ribbon in it. Like a blue ribbon. Do I exact right color for this. I have this minty color. Let's see. See what I mean? Like, oh, let's stop and take an assessment and like play with other things that don't have anything to do with actually finishing. Oh, it's not wide enough. It needs to be like a 3/8. This is a 1/4. I had. Oh yeah, okay, so I have something more baby blue. And I think this is 3/8. Yeah, it's a little bit wider. So this color. I don't know. Nah. All the time. Well, the easier thing to do would just be to use this sparkly stuff and like leave it at that instead of, because I would have to weave this ribbon into the galloon lace. Do I want to do that though? I like that mint color. It's the aqua. I got that for Kimchi Kawaii. I don't know if you follow her or know who she is, but she also had a little venture into textile print design where you can buy her stuff on Spoonflower, I think. Oh, no. Fleur de Lis, and it was to go with her little ice cream, purple stripe ice cream border print motif that she designed. Okay, put this back. So I'm gonna say no on that balloon, but I have this other one that's more of a, I guess you could say it's a little bit of a higher quality. It's the same sort of quality as this one. I got this. I think it would be the right side. This is the right side. What do you think of that? It's kind of cute. Well, it's one or the other. I kind of just wanted to use this stuff. But I'll leave these two things out and then we can decide later when we have more people. Of course, I trust your judgment too, so it doesn't have to depend on other people giving their opinions. Yeah. 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 What was that other thing? Oh. Oh yeah, I guess I do have some of this in black. So I have some of this too to use as the lacing. Instead of making rouleau for the back piece, I just have some regular. It's actually stretchy. I don't care so much for the for the elastic part of this, so I would just like put it inside, say if it was in here, and then you could use this for the corset lacing, so long as it was stitched down and not affecting itself with stretch. But it's just a scallop edged lacing, very simple, and I got it specifically to make corset lacing. Oh, husband's home. Hi, hubby. Have used all of this. No effing way. No way. No way. I couldn't have. Oh my god. Unless it's just hiding somewhere, but I thought I had a ton of this like scallop edging stuff in white. This. No way! Oh no! Well, that's a sad time. Okay. Maybe it's hiding somewhere? Crappity. Anyway, we're gonna overlock. I have a feeling I know what I'm going to be doing after my stream today, and that's looking for more of this scallop loop edging stuff that I would use for corset lacing. I can't believe I must be out of it? How is that possible though? I had like a ton of that. Okay. Oh. Did I break it? scrappy. Let me have one from the way. Try it on this. Cool. So there must needs be ironing. No. Nope, that is not gonna happen. I'm not forgetting anymore. I'm remembering the little catch coven thing. Alright. I'm gonna do some ironing. I'm late to the party. What did I miss? I finally returned to work, so I haven't been on much. Oh, Lady Kyra. Lady Kyra. Lady Kyra. Come to the stream. Come talk to me. This does not need to be overlocked, so we are not going to do that. Wake up, Iron. Wake up, wake up. Hi. Come to the stream. Alrighty, we're gonna do our little foldy iron tricky thingy. So I already have my notches in here, my nachos. We're just gonna make a nice straight line, starting at the top. And I'm gonna iron some lines into this fabric to follow as my guideline when I'm putting in the casings. I'm trying not to uniron my my previous marks here though. So pretty good so far. Okay, so great. Now we have our guidelines straight across with only ironing. It's so cool. So we got that. We're gonna fix these up so that they're not so janky looking. And just roll this out. Or try. Okay. We need to decide which way we want our seams to be facing. So sometimes I like it to be on the outside towards the side seam. If you're doing a corset lacing, it'll have to be towards the side with the seams facing inward so that you have the corset lacing just kind of injected in here. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to move these to the side seams. Wait, to the side seams. I had to think about that. Because if I'm going to put any trim on this, I'm going to put the trim on the outside seam here, and then that way it'll have the stability of the seam allowance itself to adhere to. Right. So there we go. So now these seams are facing inward, and we're going to put some bits right here. Haven't decided which one yet. Ooh, I might have to do that first before I put that top part on. If I'm putting anything on these seams, it needs to be done before I attach this part. I think that's all I need for now until the next time. Okay, so this guy, this guy. So, hypothetically, well, you know what I could start with is the, this guy. This needs to be stay stitched on the bottom to make sure that it doesn't shift when I'm putting in the casings. I'm gonna be right back. Just a moment, please. Okay. So we are going to do some stay stitching. just wondering. Actually know if that's gonna be wide enough. I don't want to have to change my darn foot on there. So I need it to be at least a 1/4 inch on either side, or maybe even less. The elastic itself is a 1/4 inch. What is that going to measure at? Let me see here. Hypothetically, that should be fine. I'm going to try it. I'm going to try one and see if we can fit a length of 1/4 inch elastic in there. Since I have so much of it and it just needs to be used up, I'm not going to worry too much. Same thing on this side. Excuse me. Wide enough? Is it wide enough? Let's find out. The way we do this, aha, I even brought them out. Look at me, I'm so smart. Okay. Ow. All the elastic. I went crazy got like industrial amounts of elastic. It's surprisingly still good. So usually elastic dries out, but this has maintained its elasticity for a while. So I'm gonna do like a half sort of guy right here. And then I have one bodkin, but in order to do this properly, you kind of have to use, you have to do this like all at once. So you do all the casings, you load up all the casings with the elastic in it, and then once they're all fixed on one side, you just pull them all through, so you're not like struggling with one elastic at a time and then having to fight the elastic that's already been put in there. Come on, buddy. You know you want to. You want to get in there. Yes. Okay. Actually, that's perfect. That is the perfect width for this casing. Let's see, is it gonna fit all the way? All right. So far, so good. Just want to make sure it goes all the way through at this width. So I'm just going to let it fall in to the casing and then pull it all the way out. Yes, that is what I'm going to do. It works. All right, time to do the rest of them. I think someone's doing the dishes and also spending time with her family. But she did mention she would threaten to do the dishes, so. Ah! The bane of my existence. Dethreading. is I don't think it's right that it should be like in the middle. So I think I'm just gonna put the casing right at the top. So I'm gonna move this and then just follow right around the top here. Because if it's not elasticated, oh hey, Jack Steele! Hello! I was just talking about casings. We're experimenting with this design from the Otomino Sewing Book 1 of all things. And yeah, I was just talking about how this would look if it didn't have a casing right at the very top. Because it would be all splayed out if it was just at the bottom and elasticated. And we don't want that. Alright, so it's going to have, I want to say, 4 rows of elastic. And we're going to start loading that up. How are you doing, my friend? How are you? Doing great, thanks. And yourself? I am better than I was. I was very stressed out just as this semester was ending and I was having to sub these other classes, and it paid extra, so I'm not complaining now, and I got my paycheck, so that's good. And then now Christmas is coming and I'm off until next semester, so it's been good. Kind of just relaxing and doing what I want. Which is this job that I've made for myself. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I made a 5th one, it'd be super close to the bottom. Super close. Heh. Oh my gosh, and I just realized too. So I'm going to load these up, but I'm not going to pull them through all the way because I still have to attach a skirt to this thing. So I'm just going to get... I was practicing putting in sleeves last night. Awesome! How'd it come out? Oh look, my snips are right there in front of my face. Why am I not surprised? I was wondering, for production lines, did you put the sleeves on the flat or round? It depends on the design. It depends on the manufacturer. I did not make anything personally with sleeves in the factory, but I do know that that is varied depending on the facility and on the design itself. I put them in round because sometimes it requires it to be done that way. Oh my gosh. It is a work in progress. I tried the 2-thread method, but kept breaking my threads. 2-thread method? Are you talking about gathering? I was more successful sort of going around the sleeve and doing a sort of pleating to, yes, for gathering. Okay. Yes, the 2-thread method is a completely acceptable method for gathering. I personally don't feel like I have time to do two lines of threads, so I just kind of, you know, try to make it faster. I'm always about trying to make things faster, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just have to go for it and then do it carefully, because it might be complicated. It takes a lot of practice. Sleeves, if you don't have somebody to like exactly show you how to do it, you know, you might struggle a little bit at the beginning, but I feel you'll get it. There's no real magic to it. It's just a matter of knowing how to use your skill. I like the puffy sleeve look, so the pleating or gathering works for me. Yes, absolutely. The princess sleeves, I like those too. Okay, almost there. Oh my god! Just get in there. Oh, I just realized. This is about the time when people like come on to watch. I'm never on at peak hours. I think somebody else was talking about this on another stream I was watching, how like there are more people usually in the evening watching streams because everybody's coming home from work. All right, so all 4 of these casings are loaded up now, and I'm just gonna go down this edge to tack them in on the one side. Christmas if you celebrate it, or do you travel? We are going to travel down south to a place called Lincoln, and it is famous for Billy the Kid, and he had his famous shootout there. That's where my boyfriend's family is from. I have to think about this. So I have that loaded up with elastic. This needs to be pleated. Just basically meeting these pleat marks and sewing a short little line. Alright. Let's see if we can keep that down with some little stitchings. Little box pleats that I'm doing on these shoulder straps. Oh, I hate that. Oh, it makes me so mad. I can put together this dress. That is kind of my challenge at the moment. So we have shoulder straps, we have the front, we have the back panel done, and I was thinking that in order to put any embellishment, I chose these two different, I wasn't sure which one to use, but I was thinking either this more subdued gold trim to put on here, let's see, like this, or this one that's a little more sparkly. The downside that I see to the sparkly one, first of all, it's sparkly. Not that that really stops me or stopped me before, but it looks like rickrack a little bit. Do you follow or listen to any sewing podcasts? I don't, actually. Most of my interest in sewing has been self-learning. I'll watch videos on how to do a certain thing that I'm interested in learning at the time, but typically no, I don't inundate myself with information overload. I just do this. I just do it, and if I do it wrong, then I'll learn from it. it should go this way. I don't know yet. Both of them have like a wavy pattern on them, which I thought was appropriate. I kind of like the sparkles. What do you think? Either way, I'm going to have to figure out a gold thread. If I'm going to put that on now, then I have to be able to do it with the right thread. Do I though? Do I have like gold? What is this? Oh yeah, this like gold colored embroidery thread. So this could work? Question mark? What is this? Why is it on there? I thought I had like, well, that's like super yellow. That's not gonna work. That's pink. That's not gold at all. You know, and I thought I had like jean thread somewhere. But if I did, I don't anymore. Oh. Which is fine. I think that'll work. I heard you were talking about the new Golden Compass show. Also, Watchmen is really good. Yes, I had heard that Watchmen is really good, and I'd like to see it. I think we're trying to do like just a few shows at a time, because otherwise I have this really bad habit of binging them and then not getting anything done. And that's a me problem. I know this, but still. So yeah, we're watching His Dark Materials, which I read the series and I was super into it. And then was totally disappointed in the movie that came out that one year. The movie that shall not be named or spoken of. So do I have... I've got this... Huh. I wonder what happened to my jean thread. Weird. So which one do you think I should do? The sparkly or the more subdued gold? I don't know. You can see it, right? Let's do close up. Because I'm feeling like doing this. Even though, I mean, it's just for me. It doesn't matter. Non-sparkly. I like the sparkly one. But it's a bit hard to see. Oh. That's understandable. This is all sticky. Why though? Why is it doing this? Do it up. Okay, just getting rid of some of this sticky stuff. So much trouble, friend. I don't know. think I've used very much of this subdued gold one. Oh, sorry I missed your message in November. Maybe we can do a commission next year. No problem. Yeah, you know, I was in a really weird place because I like blocked out time for these people, and it just happened like a domino effect. Like one after the other just fell through. And then even another one that I thought I got after that I thought was going to be like a sure thing, like I never heard back from them after sending them the invoice. So it's a little disappointing to say the least, especially when I block out time specifically for them, and then I don't know, it's the nature of the beast, I guess. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I like this one. I think it's a very like classy, nice, high quality lace. So I'm gonna apply this. Hopefully the gold thread that I'm using to sew it onto isn't going to be too bright. I'm just gonna do one line. It's gonna need to be pressed too. I'm also trying to get these scallop bits, little spiky bits, to come out to hide the seam. And then I'll also do it like a basting stitch. Okay. That's not bad at all. Oh wait, I'm gonna do this. Unravel seamstress. Also, I'm fine with you sourcing the fabric. Sorry, in the past my seamstress had asked me to do that for him to help. Well, that's kind of odd to me. Well, I think I talked about why we don't do that. We don't let the customer buy the fabric because, for one, you're paying for a professional service, and we've been doing this long enough that we're somewhat experts in fabric type and quality and fibers. So part of our job is to be able to source the right materials, and that should not be up to the customer. The customer says, I want this, and then the professional should be able to figure out exactly what's needed. That way money isn't wasted in case something incorrect is purchased. But I think we talked about that, so I'm not going to reiterate now. Sorry. Sewing technician is a perfectly fine adjective. So I don't like the word seamstress. It used to be synonymous with something else, so I avoid using it. Sewing technician, designer, personal tailor. Oh, no worries. No worries. People still use the word. They don't know. I'm not judgy. I just gently correct. Alright, that's looking alright. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. That is adorable. Okay. So then for the top, of course I'm going to have to change my thread again. Of course. Back to black. Bloop. So with those done, we're not using this. We are going to apply this now. See if this is going to work. Should. Yeah. Pretty good. Let's see. Have you ever used Marvelous Designer or Closed 3D? I have been trying it lately, and after a simulation program, it's very cool. Marvelous Designer or Closed 3D. I don't even think I've heard of them before, I must say. I think we're gonna let that go up. So it's like floating. Oh yeah, look at that. It's curving the way that it needs to because it had that kind of dart in here. Neat. We have our, yeah, that's for our shoulder straps. On the side, it's going to have a zipper. So that's going to be on this side. It's usually on the left side. Okay. So then this needs to be overlocked. Huh. Let me make sure that I have the center marked on this back panel because this needs to be finished before I do anything else. there's the center. These need to be brought in through the casings and fully elasticated. However, if you use Close 3D, you can print out the patterns. Oh, you create patterns and see lines and pretty much most things you can sew for real. But it's used to make virtual garments. Interesting. Is it open source? No, it's subscription based, but it has a 30-day trial. I take issue with that. There's another program called Valentina that is an open source pattern drafting program. Or I just draft the patterns by hand and then digitize them in Adobe Illustrator, which I have for free. So. Well, because I already own it. Interesting. I will check that out. The personal version is $50 a month. That's crazy. That's a lot. That's a lot. Especially if you're not doing it professionally. Like, holy shit. Okay, so I brought through, this is that elastic panel that I made with 4 lines of elastic casing. And now I just need to tack the ends down, just pinning it onto itself. Okay. No. want to lose it. Almost lost an end. The price is a bit steep. Created patterns in Clothes 3D, then use my Cricut Maker to cut them out. For small items, it works great. That's neat. I'm still going to check it out just because I'm curious. But yeah, that price tag is a little tough. Okay. Alright, so I've got these pinned. Just need to tack it. Let's see. They also use it a lot to make virtual garments for video games. I'm thinking they used it for Witcher 3. That's neat. That's one of my favorite games. Love Witcher. I like the books too. I'm super excited for the show. Oh my god. So excited. And no, it's not because I have a Henry Cavill thing. It's because I have a Geralt of Rivia thing. That's my thing. I hope it translates well. I do too. I think I just have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be a lot better than the Polish version that came out back in like 2001 for Polish television. Yeah. I actually tried watching it. It was hard. It was hard to watch. They use it because it helps simulate how cloth looks and moves. Yes, I think I've heard of this. Not necessarily like what it's called, but I have heard of some revolutionary new program that simulates cloth. Which isn't that what you said? Like cloth simulator or what am I saying? Marvelous Designer was the other thing you mentioned. Clothing simulator, some kind of clothing simulator. I remember it was in the news, and BioShock Infinite was like renowned for the clothing and cloth physics that they had in that game. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this up. So this needs to be overlocked. I need to attach the side panels, which are here. Where's the other? Where's the other facing? Seriously? Did I lose it? What did I do with it? Oh, it's right in front of my face. Good job. All right. Yes. I remember this now. I remember. Okay, so what I have to do is put this on first. What is this coming off of it? What's this coming from? Marvelous Designer is good for modeling clothes for fun. Clothes 3D or Clothes 3D, I don't know, is the one where you can modify avatars to specific measurements and print out patterns you make. Very interesting. One thing I realized on this project of mine, mine, is when I'm putting in the side panels for this top edge is already finished, so I can't put a raw edge. I need to be able to like pull it over. Anyway, I'm putting on the facings first, and then we're gonna go from there. They are made by the same company. Neat. And you should definitely check out Valentina. I need to play with it more, just because I'm sure there's some learning curve that I haven't figured out yet. And I find it frustrating when I know how to do it by hand, but I can't make it do the thing that I want it to do because I haven't learned the program to tell it to do the thing that I know it can do. So it's a bit frustrating. But that's a me problem, like I said. Just gotta get over it. Oopsie. I meant to tell you, using the interfacing on satin works so well. Helps so much for having the edges not fray. I'm so glad that you discovered using interfacing on satin that way. It's like the sheer knit, right? The super light stuff, so that's not really interfering with the satin itself, for sure. Yeah. It is super cool. That's very cool. I'm glad that you did that. Okay, this goes this way. Yes, I got the cotton interfacing, the one you recommended. So it looks like Valentina is more 2D, whereas the other ones are 3D. Yes, it is a pattern drafting program. So it's a flat pattern drafting program. It's not a 3D modeling program. So if you know how to pattern draft, that's the program for you. That's why I like to use it. Can you recommend a good thread to use? I just use Coates & Clark. well, Gutermann, but it's expensive. Even I don't really use a lot of Gutermann. Also, I wanted to say, to try to use the Tricot shear knit interfacing or something of that ilk when you are doing any interfacing on satin, because the cotton is too heavy. Although I'm glad that you had good results that you wanted out of it, it's just that I would recommend a lighter interfacing to stabilize it with. Tricot interfacing, usually a fusible Tricot. Let's see. And then we're gonna make it, oh fuck. Well, it's not gonna have corset lacing, and that's okay. It doesn't need to have corset lacing. I am not gonna do like all the bells and whistles for this thing. I'm just not. Oh, cool things will do. God damn it. Okay. So I think I'm gonna do some overlocking while I've got this. Oh, hey Mouselin, how you doing? Mouselin, are you Quillith? Wait, I'm trying to remember alternate names. Hello, hello. Hello. Yes. I mean, everybody has so many different names online. It's hard to keep track. You gotta, cut me a break here. So. This fabric is so cute. I'm so excited. But they always break more for me, which is weird, but whatever. I try to use the same username in most places, but it's hard when somebody beats me to it. I know, I have that same problem with my typical online name, which is Lunar Crystal. Oh my goodness, I just realized that my face is not on screen. Hi! Yeah, Lunar Crystal. I picked that out back in 1994 and have been using it since then. But then all sorts of youngins came about, thought that name was really cool too, so they took it before I could get to it in certain places. So I'm like, what the heck? That's my name! I've had that name before you were born! The heck? So, that's my issue. I am trying as quickly as possible to create a mock-up using this really cute print before I cut into my really nice modes for you fabric. That is my goal. No. So this mock-up is unlined. Not too many frills. Whereas I plan to put some chiffon trim on the other stuff. This is just to see if the pattern's gonna fit right. And so far so good. I mean, the pieces don't look too wonky. As soon as I have it all closed up, I even cut out the skirt for it. And the other thing too is I wanted to check to make sure I can make this out of 2 yards or less. And so far I'm successful, so long as I don't have any like ruffles that I have to make out of the same fabric. So yeah, darn youngsters stealing the good usernames. Oh, I know. You don't know what the internet used to be. I was there when it was written. Do not speak to me of the old magic. I was there when it was written. He who speaks of floppy disks. Sorry, I love that commercial. It's so silly. How long have you been lurking around, Mouselin? Or did you just get in? Oh, I just realized my mistake, and I just went over this exact thing with my sewing class. One side, especially this side, because this is the side that's going to have the zipper on it, this much of it needs to be unsewn to put in the darn zipper. What's wrong with me? I just went over this with my own students. Well, at least I didn't serge it, because that would have been dumb. Come on. I can't even use the excuse that I'm hungry and my brain's not functioning right. It's just that my brain isn't functioning right, and it has nothing to do with hunger. Because I ate. It's just me being a ditz. Forgetting stuff that is important. Okay. Yeah, that works. Okay. My niece didn't believe us about floppy disks, or about the old style of cell phones where you had to click the number a billion times to get the letters until we showed her, and then she was so disgusted by it all. Oh my god. You know, and It's one of the reasons I didn't get into texting until later, is I hated having to sit there and spend time clicking through the numbers to get the right letter. That's why we had like stupid abbreviated text messages, but I did not participate too much in that culture until we had like full keyboards on our phones. It was just like not a thing that I wanted to do. It was too frustrating. I needed to do like proper grammar or else I would be totally dissatisfied with whatever it was I was typing. And floppy disks. Boy, does she know anything about rotary phones? I remember those. Actually, I liked playing with them. I thought rotary phones were pretty fun. It's like, oh, so nostalgic. Oh, I've only been here a few minutes. Had to make and eat dinner. Yep, I didn't text until I had a full keyboard because it was so annoying. But my mom still has an old track phone. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okie dokie. So I was going to put some loops in here, but I didn't. I decided, nah, I don't need it. Because again, this is like mock-up stuff. And then I kept it open on this side because the zipper's going to go here. So for this guy, it needs to have the top band on it. Don't forget. So on this side, I need to keep it open so that I can put the darn zipper in. Just gotta remember that. Don't let me forget. Fastest I've ever made a dress. I'm just busting this one out. Probably because there's not too many frills on this thing. So it's the embellishment part that really can drag you down. Putting in all the finishings and the details. Oh my god! I almost forgot. I stopped it. Oh God! Oh dear God in heaven! Guess what I almost forgot? The shoulder straps. What is wrong with me? This isn't a race. What the heck? Oh my God! I stopped just in time. I probably need to pull it out just a little bit, but oh. That would have been a bad time. Let's see. No idea if she's seen a rotary phone before or not. Posef says, my old boss still used old school text abbreviations even though she had a full keyboard on her phone. It would take me so long to decode them. That is so funny. Yeah, that's another reason I didn't want to participate in the texting in that era, is because the abbreviations annoyed me. I am one of those people that prefer to have like full sentences with proper grammar and punctuation. Sometimes if I want it to be funny, I'll use like funny words or slang or something along that line. But not in just everyday conversation. I was just a stickler for making sure things were spelled properly. And yeah, so I didn't do that. Gotta run, Jack! Okay! But have a great stream. Let me know if you have any questions about either of those programs. I will, and thank you so much for sharing them. Thanks for stopping in. Have a great evening. Ah. Okay, this time we're not forgetting the shoulder straps in this where it belongs. Good grief. I can't believe I almost forgot that. Now, I'm not going to close it all the way. I'm not going to close it. I'm not going to close it. Just a little bit. Until here. Okay. So that leaves me with a bit of a conundrum. Unless I just stop it right before. I'm trying to figure out about the zipper and the gold trim that I chose. Okay, so now we have, let's see here. So we have this front with the shoulder straps. Ooh, it's looking good. This needs to be pressed up. So it's open here, leaving open for the zipper. You know, and I'm starting to wonder if I should put this trim on after the zipper. That won't make sense. Does that make sense? No, because I want it to go, I don't want it to go all the way to the back. I don't think. In any case, it has to be pressed, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to press it. Oh, it's already past 5 o'clock. What? I'm going to press, and then I'm going to contemplate. You know how that is. But, man, this is like, it's really coming together quickly. I am very happy so far with this progress. I like the way this is finished this way. It might need to be top stitched on this edge just to keep it down. So I may end up having to top stitch. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Wake up, iron. Wake up. This is looking cute though. Look at this. So this is like that top band of the bodice with this. These are the shoulder straps. And then it's going to have more of this trim that I have a ton of. Do I want it to go this way? I think that's going to look really cute. Oh, this is the wrong side. Hang on. Isn't that gonna look adorable? And maybe going the opposite way this way. Just sticking up off the top to have these little scallop bits. I think it's gonna look cute. Sweet. I think that's coming out nicely. I think it's coming out very nice. Alright, I think I've reached a pretty good stopping point. So cute! I could never think what to do with trim before I got into Lolita. I just have to actually learn to sew now. Yeah, it just takes a little bit of practice, but honestly playing with trims is one of my favorite things. I have been in a position where I was able to just buy trims in bulk, so I have a lot of it just in boxes. So I'm able to just like go through all my trim and mix and match and see what works best for what I'm using. So as you can see, I have like this sparkly one that I was considering to put on here, but instead I think this looks better. And I get a lot of the trims on AliExpress. I buy 20 yards, 15 to 20 yards at a time for anywhere like $15 to $20 for that bundle. So it's a really good deal. It's better quality than what you'll find at Joann's. I like to play with trims. Especially in Lolita, where like trims are like half of the garment itself. You have to have the options there so that you have the design that you want for what you're making. Nice. Yeah. So I think it's about that time for me. I got a lot done, like a lot done. And I'm feeling pretty good about this this pattern so far. When I do it out of the Modes for You fabric, I'm probably going to incorporate a lining to the design. And that's pretty simple. That's just like adding another like one piece to the back because it's mostly already drafted for lining, so it's fine. So that makes it actually really easy and adaptable to add a lining to this pattern. So I'm excited. I am tired, and I think I'm gonna go now. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Thank you, Postef, again for following me and hanging out. I appreciate the chatting, and it's always nice to be able to chat with people. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, because I'm gonna be around. I'm gonna be around and streaming, able to do this. I'm so excited. All right. So we'll see you for the rest of the week, probably tomorrow too. So at 12:30 Mountain Standard Time, whatever time.